Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into something really massive. We are taking an objective, detailed look at a highly scrutinized speech that was recently delivered right on the Senate floor. We're going to map out an extensive 500-day timeline of corruption allegations leveled by Senator Chris Murphy against the Trump administration. Now, because these claims are so dense and honestly cover so much ground, visualizing the data is absolutely the best way for us to understand the full scope of what the senator is actually arguing. So, let's get into it.
To make sense of what the senator describes as a chaotic fire hose of claims, we've broken this explainer down into 6 thematic buckets: strategy of normalization, pay-to-play policies, enriching family and friends, selling pardons and protection, insider bets and security, and finally, the danger of acceptance. Starting off with Section 1, strategy of normalization, mapping the overwhelming volume of claims. Let's dive right into what Murphy believes is the underlying psychological strategy behind all of these actions.
Okay, so tracking this timeline, it starts in April 2025. That's when the acting attorney general allegedly terminated DOJ investigations into crypto companies while holding major crypto investments himself. And it goes straight through to September 2025 with bribery claims, all the way to May 2026. Murphy's mapping out a 500-day span that is just so incredibly dense, he argues it's deliberately designed to completely overwhelm both the public and the press.
And that brings us to the senator's core thesis. Just look at this quote. He argues the sheer volume of these alleged scandals isn't an accident. It's a calculated tactic. By making sure there's a new story of alleged self-dealing every few days, the administration is basically betting that you, the public, will simply stop paying attention. It just becomes background noise. Or, as he puts it, the pitter-patter of rain.
Moving right along to Section 2, pay-to-play policy changes, the quid pro quo formula. Here, Murphy outlines multiple instances of alleged policy shifts involving massive corporate donations.
And this brilliantly illustrates the formula Murphy alleges is constantly at work. It's a simple, incredibly direct equation. Massive payments equal highly favorable policy changes. For instance, the senator claims a poultry company, Pilgrim's Pride, donated $5 million, and shortly after, a rule limiting salmonella in poultry was suddenly reversed. Same story with Big Tobacco. They allegedly paid $5 million to secure a dinner, resulting in the immediate reversal of a flavored vape ban. And a bridge owner allegedly donated $1 million just to block a competitor's new bridge connecting Detroit to Canada from opening. The senator presents these as clear-cut, direct transactions.
$50 billion. The scale of these alleged deals is frankly staggering. The senator claims that over half of the donors to the president's public ballroom project have since making their donations received new or expanded federal contracts. And the total value of those contracts? Yeah, it's over $50 billion.
All right, Section 3, enriching family and friends, steering contracts to the inner circle. This part of the speech focuses heavily on the alleged use of federal power to pad the personal investment portfolios of the administration's inner circle.
Murphy points to a specific rare earth minerals company called Vulcan Elements. According to the speech, Donald Jr. Trump was a key investor here. The senator claims that civil servants at the Pentagon were actually pressured by the White House into giving Vulcan a $620 million taxpayer-funded loan. Notice that valuation jump. It skyrocketed from $200 million to $2 billion practically overnight, allegedly multiplying the president's son's investment tenfold.
But it doesn't stop there. The senator also alleges the president himself personally trades stocks without a blind trust. He lays out this fascinatingly simple 3-step playbook to illustrate the claim. Step 1. The president buys $1 million in Dell stock. Step 2. He publicly promotes Dell right from the White House podium. Step 3. Dell's awarded a massive $10 billion defense contract. Murphy argues this is a blatant use of the highest office in the land for personal day trading.
And these allegations extend to the cabinet, too. I mean, who exactly is funding the transportation secretary's expensive snowmobiling trips? According to Murphy, Sean Duffy's family reality show is actually being funded by Boeing and United Airlines. These are the exact companies the secretary is tasked with regulating, presenting what the senator describes as an absolutely egregious conflict of interest.
Let's move to Section 4, selling pardons and protection, the monetization of justice. The crucial takeaway here is the senator's explosive claim that the justice system itself is being explicitly monetized. Let's really take our time and look at the data Murphy provides to support this pardon for cash scheme, because it reads almost like a menu. First up, Paul Walzak, convicted of stealing millions from nursing home employees, allegedly gets a full pardon after his mother pays $1 million just for a face-to-face meeting. Next, Joseph Schwartz, a convicted tax cheat whose negligence allegedly led to deaths in his nursing homes, is released after paying $1 million to connected lobbyists. And finally, Chen Peng Xiao, who literally built a business helping predators and traffickers evade the law, was allegedly pardoned simply because he helped launch the president's crypto business.
Now you might be wondering, how does an administration justify operating this way out in the open? Well, Murphy uses this specific quote from the president on April 10th to explain exactly why administration officials feel so emboldened. By promising to pardon everyone within 200 feet of the White House, the senator argues the president has effectively removed the threat of legal consequences for his inner circle. It's basically a giant green light to engage in corruption.
Which brings us to Section 5, Insider Bets and Security. Profiting from global crises. We are moving beyond domestic policy now and looking at how global crises and foreign actors intersect with the administration's financial interests.
Look at this number, $950 million. The senator claims that just hours, literally hours, before the announcement of a ceasefire in Iran, a group of investors with likely ties to the White House placed nearly $1 billion in bets that oil prices would fall. When the ceasefire was announced later that day, oil prices tumbled by 50%, resulting in just massive profits. Murphy characterizes this as flat-out illegal war profiteering based on classified insider information.
Furthermore, Murphy highlights a major national security concern regarding foreign influence. He alleges that foreign entities associated with hostile regimes, we are talking North Korea, Iran, and Russia, shoveled over $57 million into the president's personal crypto ventures. The senator poses a really serious question here. What do these foreign governments expect to get in return for quietly funneling millions directly into the president's pockets through unregulated meme coins?
And what happens when officials are actually caught red-handed? Well, the speech claims the justice system just looks the other way to protect the inner circle. It is incredibly alarming that Murphy cites the case of the border czar, Tom Homan, who is allegedly caught on FBI video, on tape, accepting $50,000 in cash from undercover agents in exchange for government contracts. And according to the senator, the Department of Justice simply dropped this massive investigation, signaling that blatant bribery is entirely acceptable.
Finally, Section 6, the danger of acceptance, when corruption becomes permanent. How does Senator Murphy wrap up this exhausting 500-day timeline? He ends with a stark, urgent warning to the American public about the psychological toll all of this takes on a nation.
The senator warns us that the constant, exhausting barrage of these alleged scandals is actually a weapon. The ultimate goal? Acceptance. Outrage turns into exhaustion, and exhaustion turns into apathy. If the public just accepts that the government exists simply to enrich the president and his friends, Murphy argues, then this behavior becomes a permanent fixture of American politics. There will be absolutely no going back.
And that leaves us with a critical question to consider today about the future of government accountability. We've mapped the claims, right, from pay-to-play policies to monetized pardons and insider trading. The big question Senator Murphy is posing to us is whether this pitter-patter of rain will truly wash away our expectations of ethical leadership, or if the public will finally recognize the pattern and demand a return to accountability. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep asking those tough questions and keep looking closely at the data.